Hello and welcome to this platform. Today we are discussing a very important topic in Nigeria's politics, one that is rooted at the background of our problems. Hatred among Nigerians. Some people hate some other people in this country because they belong to some other tribes different from their own. Why do we hate ourselves so much? The First World War has ended. The second has long ended. The world is now in what some historians call the Cold War period. You still see some people doing economic sanctions, economic wars. They use certain items in global politics to do some level of warfare. That is what you see as a remnant of the fights that happened in Nigeria, in today's Nigeria. This location we call Nigeria. Things happened here 150 years, 200 years, 300 years ago. And some tribes dominated some other tribes. Some had the issue of being defeated in war, and they passed on this injury, this cold injury to their oncoming generations. That these people defeated us in war. We must brace up, we must fight, we must never accept this outcome, we must fight them back. So the fights that our great-grandfathers, our great-great-grandfathers, our ancestors fought and won. That is what we see in Nigeria playing out today. You will see on certain occasions, there was a particular occasion when a certain country in Africa, their economy is a bit better than Nigeria. And the inhabitants of that country, the citizens of that country were fighting some people they called foreigners. Majorly they were fighting and chasing away black Africans in their country, claiming that these black Africans come to their country to take up their jobs and take up their wives. And they also do some on some businesses that are illicit, like drug pushing and the rest. And they mentioned that Nigeria is among the people who these youths of this country, Nigerians were the ones among the people they were chasing away for reasons best known to them right there, over there. A popular viral video was showed on TV. Somebody of a certain tribe in Nigeria who was working in that country, living in that country, posted a video where he described, or he was attempting to describe to people of that country that in Nigeria there are many tribes, and that the people of his own tribe are not bad people. You don't come here to collect your jobs, you don't come here to do illicit business. That there is a tribe in the same country where he is from, there's a tribe that is known for that. He even gave them names of those that belong to those tribes. If you hear people bearing so and so names, they are the ones you are looking for. But people of my tribe in Nigeria, they do not behave the way you are describing. That's the amount of hatred you have seen in Nigeria, in Nigerians, even when they are at home and when they are in diaspora. This is the diaspora case. Somebody living outside Nigeria telling citizens of the country where he lives that should they see other Nigerians, his own citizens, from so and so part of Nigeria, they should attack them, that they are bad people. How much of hatred could he have shared to those people? So you see how much that person hated the people of other tribes in Nigeria. Recently, a Nigerian woman was made to occupy a big position in the UK. And because she clinched that position in their political party, and she was given that political position, that position Somebody posted a video and said, why her? Why can't be somebody else from my tribe in Nigeria? So you see, this other person who is posting this video claiming that there are more intelligent and more beautiful women from her own tribe, not this one. She's not as intelligent and she's not as beautiful as the one I find in my tribe, among my tribeswomen and tribesmen. Hatred that Nigerians have for other people from other tribes in Nigeria, it stinks, uncontrollable. My question is, why do we hate ourselves so much in Nigeria? Why? We hate fellow Nigerians to the extent that when we get outside, when you are in Nigeria, you may be having one or two issues with me, but when we meet outside Nigeria, maybe we meet in Denmark, or we meet in South Korea, or we meet in Japan, I should be very happy to see, oh, you are from Nigeria. I should be very happy to see you, receive you. If possible, maybe we work in the same office, or we have some way of meeting up. We could talk. We could talk about home, talk about things, but that's not so. Many Nigerians see this as a way to attack you. Diaspora issues. If you follow diaspora news, you'll see this story. Right here in Nigeria, different offices have different blocks. You see this government-funded office, you see this group, you see that group, you see this group. Look deeper into these groups, you see certain tribal marks wrapped around. Underneath, you see that there is a tribe or group of tribes that have formed a coalition in that government-funded office that is supposed to belong to all Nigerians, every Nigerian. You see, these people will form groups in this government office. And therefore, if you do not belong to their group, but you find yourself in that office, you are going to suffer along the line. Because when they talk of making promotions, making that office, funding some people to do some developmental courses, want to send this abroad, want to do this program here in Nigeria, they will not select you, the person who is standing alone. You see the groups also, as they are there, they are trying to form something like intra-office political parties. Permit me to use that word. You see this group fighting for more to get to them, group B fighting more to get to them, group C also fighting more to get to them. So when you have three powerful groups in your government office fighting for positions, when they want to send people abroad, maybe you want to send 15 persons to train them in so and so in another country, these groups will grab it. Some will attempt to grab 10 out of these 15. Some will attempt to grab 8. Then when they have grabbed everything, you see that you, the one working in that office, who has no godfather, no godmother, and you are just alone in that office, you stay there for 10, 20 years. No such training will get to your hand. Because there is this rivalry, unhealthy rivalry in our government offices. And this rivalry is coming on from the background of tribal affiliations. Some tribes pull together. You see them call their name, they call this name, they call that name, they say this and that, A and B group in this office. This one is A, B group. This one is C group. This one is D and E group. If you understand Nigerian languages and the way we talk in offices, you see these things happen. In almost all government offices in Nigeria, you find it in local government settings, you find it in state settings, you find it also in federal government settings. The persons who are the head of affairs, governor, president, may not know or may know, but these ones who are having this issue, they know. That is why you see any place you get to in Nigeria, any project you see in Nigeria, check very well. You see some people, they're always saying this group, that group, that group. Why do we fight so much in Nigeria? And there are some people who want other people not to be involved or receive good things in these places. Why? Because you hate people from their own tribe. I watched one advert where a certain man was asking a certain young lady, you want to hire a house in my house, a room in my house? She said yes. Have you met some requirements? She said yes. Do you have money? Yes. Where are you from? She now mentioned her tribe. The man told her, it's not possible. I will not give you a room in this apartment because you are from that tribe. It's a popular advert in Nigeria, on some Nigerian national TV. This hatred, it transcends many generations. It permeates into our lifestyle. When we meet people, instead of us to be united in one purpose, project in Nigeria, we are fighting against one another. Have you ever watched the game of football? When you see players playing together, exchanging passes, helping each other to do one work or the other, they are moving from from their goalpost to the opponent goalpost, intending to score a goal. But as they are doing this, one of them hits the other the other one kicks the other one, they fight and they get injured, the ball is out of their hands, the opposing team takes the ball, and in the confusion that this team has placed themselves in, they are not able to defend well, the opposing team scores goals. Who has lost? Nigeria. Nobody will say this so and so team, and so team member, so and so person. No. Look at the scoreboard you see. You never see a player's name there. It's always one country versus the other country. You never see one country versus this person's name. No. That is how it is in national politics. And if you have money, that's when you have power in national politics. And if you don't have money, what will make you to have money is to remove the effect of these tribal marks from Nigeria. Our tribalism has driven us to the extent that we no longer trust each other. That's why we say there must be quota system, there must be federal character. Some of us work abroad. When you get there, do you find people say, yes, this is the country called Spain, but what local government are you from in Nigeria before we employ you? Who does that? You show the proof that you can do this job, you show that you are qualified for it, you resume work the following day. Nobody asks you, oh, you say you're from Nigeria? Okay, are you from southern Nigeria or from northern Nigeria? Are you from what state? Local government. That is not needed. It's not needed. This distrust we have in Nigeria is the reason why it has come to a state, a position where we should start speaking up against it, is that it is telling on our economy. Because when we join hands together, that is when we work well. That's when you have you ever heard of the saying all hands must be on deck? Yes. All hands actually have to be on deck, have to be at work meaningfully. If we don't do that, we are not going to get enough results. We have more than 200 million persons to feed in Nigeria. So if you leave the job for 10 million persons, you are doing nobody any good. In fact, you are hurting the economy. But when all hands are on deck in a peaceful environment, there's no confusion, there's no distraction. War, trouble, hatred brings distraction. If we are supposed to do a project together, little work we are supposed to do together, maybe, and the work is time bound. Maybe you say, yes, two of you, James and John, do this work in 2 hours. The rest has left there. 2 hours time, he wants to come and get results. And when he gets there, you see James has hit John on the head. Instead of doing the work, one has gone to hospital, one has gone to police station. The work is undone. Can you see how foolish these two young men are? You think your supervisor will be happy? No. That's how a Nigerian problem is. We should understand that there is a place for cultural affiliations. Those ones are level of tribes. When we get home, we behave the way we want to behave as our cultures dictate. They say wear this cloth, tie this cloth, it's a cultural day. They are on their own. They are doing that. It's good, it's normal, it's natural. But when we come to the table of official business, official governance, at level of local government, at level of state government, at level of federal government, most importantly, tribal marks are supposed to be hidden. Tribal affiliations are supposed to be silenced at least for some time, and the rules of engagement are written in our national constitution. Why don't we stick to the rules of engagement? And even our national constitution, thank God it is not cast in stone. We, the younger generations, can come up and one day say, let us change this provision, let us replace it with this. Because there are certain provisions in Nigerian government, certain provisions in our constitution that need to be addressed. If you say that there must be federal character commission, if you say there must be federal character in all things, if you say that you have 10 job positions, maybe you are looking for mathematics teachers in federal government colleges, and you are sure that you want the best mathematics teachers, then the best have to be employed. The best as reviewed by a competent test and measure system. If you tell West Africa or other examination bodies, examine these young people, these teachers, get us the best among, there are about 700, but give us just 20. We need the best among them. There is a gap in the secondary schools we want to fill up, give us the best. Within few days, they will give you the best. But if you, after getting the list from them, you now start having, okay, give us the raw scores and give us the raw list. This one is from, this one is so state, this quota, this, that. By the time you apply this funny quota, whatever they do there, at last, what you will see is that just get the raw score sheet and check. The people that they will employ now, the people that were in the first 10 or first 20 who should be employed, most of them will not be employed at last because 2 or 3 persons from their state have gotten. So at last, who do you harm? You are doing the workers you are employing some favor, but you are hurting the students in those secondary schools. They will not get the best mathematics teachers, and it will go a long way. How do you get good accountants? How do you get good engineers? How do you get good statisticians if you don't teach them basic mathematics? So that's how, just one example for you, so this video doesn't take too much time. That is how we halt our progress. At last, you will start having accountants who are not the best of mathematicians, engineers who are not the best of mathematicians, and you want the best result from them? No. You are the one that destroyed them when they were in secondary school by giving them the wrong teachers. What you sow, you reap. So it is very clear, the tribes in Nigeria, we have come to coexist. We have not come for war. Whatever happened in Nigeria 150 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, please let bygones be bygones. It is gone and gone forever. There is nobody that can take us back to 1745 or 1860. No. Because we now live among ourselves. We are neighbors. We see ourselves every day in our neighborhoods, on the road, at work, everywhere. Why do we fight when we know that if we unite, our productivity will be increased, our gross domestic product will increase, our money per capita income will increase, our livelihood will improve. So why are we fighting, fellow Nigerians? I consider myself a pilgrim, and I consider myself a fortunate pilgrim. Pellegrino Fortunato, a fortunate pilgrim. Because if you see yourself in this place today you call your home, your neighborhood, you know your father's house, you know your grandfather's house, you know your great grandfather's house, but do you know your great great grandfather's house? If you can trace your lineage, apart from people who belong to royal families, you can trace your lineage, trace it very well. Apart from people who belong to royal families, who can tell me the person who, the 10 generations before you in your family, what was their address? Where were they living? You can tell me, I'll close this video. If you don't belong to any big royal family in Nigeria, and you know the people who lived before you in that your family line, 10 generations before you, were they living in the same house as you live now? It's not possible. They live somewhere. So that's why I call myself a fortunate pilgrim. Some people have moved. There are certain tribes in Nigeria that have moved different distances down to this place called Nigeria. And if you notice, for the past 20, 30, 50, 100 years, they have stopped moving because they have gotten to a place where they now call home. Let it be peaceful for them. The place called USA has many tribes, many people there. But nobody asks where are the aborigines anymore. They are living in happiness, in full, peaceful coexistence with all their neighbors. That is how Nigeria should be. A place where different tribes don't ask questions that will provoke war. Rather, they ask questions that will promote national peace and unity, questions that will promote improved safety and livelihood, questions that will promote improved friendship and oneness. We continue to fight in Nigeria, we go nowhere. Our economy will continue to plummet because we are fighting. But if we join hands together, we tolerate other people's little problems because we too have our own problems. We are living together in one country. Why are we fighting? This, I think, is what should stop so that our national gross domestic product will move forward and Nigeria will now live in peace and unity, faith and progress. Thank you as you have listened to this.